No, man, you guys must leave. I don't want to hear anything. You must leave. You must leave. You cannot tell me that I can enter my own home. Oh, man.
Hi. You'd be tired. Oh, I don't really want to. Oh, it's nice to see. Nice to see you tonight.
You're out, son. You are out.
Every single time this area has a flood or a fire, we get nothing. If we were Sydney, if we were North Coast, we would be flooded with donations, with urgent emergency.
The organization, usual annual birthday.
Hello, welcome to MzansiOz Diary. My name is Connie. If you're new here, you're very much welcome. Oh yeah, the weekend. So let's recap about the weekend. Today we're going to talk about this celebration of 130 years of ANC. So ANC in South Africa celebrated 113 years since the organization was formed. They decided they're going to celebrate this 113 years in Cape Town, in Khayelitsha. So the reason why they chose that is because they want to connect with their voter. That's what they told us, that they want to renew themselves. Why they want to renew themselves is because they didn't actually win the majority this year. For the first time in 30 years since ANC ruled South Africa in a democratic South Africa, ANC lost election. So they act like they actually still are majority, but they have lost 40.18% that they've got. They didn't get to 50%. So they had to form a multi-party government. So I call them this government ANC coalition, which is what it is. So anyway, they decided, they're going to celebrate this in Cape Town and try to connect with the poor people in Cape Town, low-income community there in Khayelitsha township. So it didn't really go so well in the beginning. So let's have a look at the clip of this video of this man. So they went to this home to visit, but didn't go so well. Let's have a look.
Leave! All of them! They cannot push me in my mother's house! They must leave! All of you guys! Leave now! Leave! Leave! This is my house! Put me out! In my house! In my house! In my house! No, man, you guys must leave! I don't want to hear anything! You must leave! You must leave! You cannot tell me that I can enter my own home! Oh, man! Man, they must leave! Now! All of you, you must leave! Now! Not tomorrow, now!
Oh, yeah, that was great, wasn't it? It was fantastic. The security people manhandled him. Yeah, he came to the house, and in his mother's house, I found him there, and yeah, kicked them out. I didn't want to hear anything from them. Oh, that was classic. Oh, I love it. Actually, I really said, yeah, well done on you. Yeah, did you actually wish you could be that person? Just chase the ANC people out of your home so they understand that you don't want to hear anything from them, because they've done so much damage, these people. Absolutely a lot of damage. in South Africa. So I am this man's team in this man's team. I said, yeah, well done on you. Good. You know what this video reminds me of? It reminds me of Scott Morrison. Remember, Scott Morrison is a former Australian Prime Minister. He was having a conversation with some of the reporter, and this is what happened in that exchange. Let's have a look.
Hey guys, I've just reseated that.
Please, off the thing.
Sorry, mate.
All good? That's all good. Thanks. So it's the projects that count.
He also went out, he was in Hawaii, and Australia was facing really difficult bushfires in New South Wales. He was in Hawaii, sunbathing, enjoying his time. Then he came back to Australia. One of the reporters asked him where was he, and he said he didn't have a host. I didn't have a housemate. And then he went to this community. People weren't happy to see him. So this video actually of South African exchange where ANC people went to that house really reminds me of the two exchange, how, politicians, they don't really govern well. And then they come to this community that they've neglected and they get that type of interaction. And that's what Scott Morrison got when he went to that community. Let's have a look. Here's the clip.
How are you?
I'm only shaking your hand if you give more funding to our RFS. So many people here have lost their homes.
We need some vets.
We need more help.
Hi,
You'd be tired.
I don't really want to.
Oh, well, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, mate.
Okay, you want for a couple?
How much money for our forgotten corner of New South Wales, Mr Prime Minister? How come we only had 4 trucks to defend our town? Because our town doesn't have a lot of money, but we have hearts of gold, Mr Prime Minister.
Nah, you're an idiot, mate. You really are.
You won't be getting any votes down here, buddy.
You're an idiot.
Who votes liberal around here? Nobody. No liberal votes. You're out, son. You are out. Good night, Bye.
What about the people who are dead now, Mr Prime Minister? What about the people who have nowhere to live?
You're not welcome, you
Every single time this area has a flood or a fire, we get nothing. If we were Sydney, if we were North Coast, we would be flooded with donations, with emergency relief.
Now let's move on to the next clip. So the next clip we'll be looking at ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula. So Fikile Mbalula is an ANC Secretary General of the party. So he's the most senior and most influential person in that party. He's got a lot of responsibility. One of those is administrative leadership. So that means he oversees the daily operation of the ANC, ensuring that the party structure and function runs smooth. He also his responsibility is policy implementation. So ensuring that the party policy and resolution are implemented across all its branches and level of leadership. So it's really an important person, okay? And so another thing is that he's responsible for is the internal communication, acting as a key communicator between the leadership of the ANC and its membership, okay? And so making sure keeping all the ANC members informed about the decisions and policies. He's also responsible for organization development, helping the ANC to grow and the party's influence and ensuring that the organizational structure of the ANC are strong and both locally and nationally, okay? So he's also responsible for campaign coordination, playing a central role in coordinating electoral campaign, mobilizing the party members for election, and so on. So these are a few things that I wanted you guys to keep in mind when I'm about to tell you the story about Fikile and Mbalula. So very important person. So what is most important is that policy implementation. That's the key things I need to think about when you look at it. Out of all the stuff that I've told you about, but he also is responsible for being a party representation, to represent his party really well. So representing ANC at various national and international forums, so strengthening ANC's position and advocating for ANC's interest, So when ANC has told us, like, you know what, this time what they're going to do, they're going to try, connect with their vote, like low-income voters that have abandoned ANC in the last election. It's not just the people, young people, it's actually even people who voted for ANC for years. That have abandoned ANC because the young people just didn't go to vote. So I don't know, they just didn't go to vote. So in South Africa, voting is not compulsory. In Australia, voting is compulsory. So if you don't vote in Australia, you get fined, massive. If you don't vote, you have no reason for not voting. So yeah, you have options to vote, have postal vote and other stuff. I think South Africa is the same thing. But voting in Australia is compulsory. In South Africa, it's like America, it's voluntary. You can just stay at home, not vote. So young people did not vote as much as South Africa is a young country, so mostly young people, more population is more younger people than older people. But even older people voted, they just abandoned ANC. So now we're going to look at Fikile Mbalula, who's ANC Secretary General. So and look at his role in this. So we're going to start with the planning. So I presumably, as a Secretary General, he would have thought about all these activities that we're going to do when he, to make sure all those activities are in line with the party's policy and objective. Because these people have told us they are renewing themselves because they've lost key voters in the last election. So it's natural for the party to actually look at themselves and see what went wrong and have a look at themselves in the mirror. So they started with the golf. So let's have a look at these golf activities that they started, and as all of them, the ANC lords and so on.
As we begin the year, this very important year, which lays the foundation for the 2026 local government elections, as the organization, the ANC, we are here in Robben Island for the golf day. It's a challenge, a fundraising, which is sold out, and we're excited about the support that has been received by the organization and the people who have actually helped this event to be a success. The ANC will be celebrating its usual annual birthday this coming Saturday, and we would like to have all our people, South Africans, to turn on and listen to the president, and those who are able to come, especially around the Western Cape, should do so, and those who are traveling, please do so.
Party to actually look at themselves and see what went wrong and have a look at themselves in the mirror. So they started with the golf. So let's have a look at these golf activities that they started, and as all of them, the ANC lords and so on.
Is the organization that organizes these wonderful, fun-filled moments where We hit balls, even as they go all over the fairway, but it's still fun to see a president hitting the ball so straight. It's fantastic. So I don't only, do politics, I'm also playing golf, but I don't play it frequently. I play it maybe twice a year. And this year of the G20, when there are quite a number of heads of states who will come here, and we will possibly entice them in some free time to see our golf courses. We've got the most beautiful, well cared for golf courses in our country, and interest them in playing golf, because it is when you play golf that everybody's hair is let down and you're able to talk serious matters, either of state or nation building and all that. So many of us will be trying to improve our golf game, because we've got a target audience with the G20. And I'll also want to interest our people, young people particularly, young black people who I often play golf with, to get interested in the game of golf. Now, the president of the ANC Youth League, who is here, is also learning to play golf. Now, that should inspire many young people. So golf is not only white people's game or wealthy people's game. It's a game that should be taken up also by people who are like me, who like to walk. You walk a good 7 kilometers on a golf course, and that makes you fit. So that's what you should do.
Yeah, I just want to talk about this last sentence that the President Ramaphosa just said at the cupcake, that, anyone should play golf, and golf is an expensive sport, Ramaphosa. It is an expensive sport. So you are there in Khayelitsha Township. How many people in Khayelitsha Township could afford to actually take their kids to play golf? How many? Have they actually built a golf course in the Khayelitsha Township to give them the opportunity for these kids to go and play golf? How? See, this is why ANC is so out of touch from the beginning, just starting on the wrong foot. I mean, it's so great that they were raising funds, but to be honest, golf, and you're going to come in and tell people, South African kids in the township in Khayelitsha, that they should play golf because you're playing golf. Do they have golf in Khayelitsha? Is it free? See, that's why people are abandoning ANC. You're out of touch with everyday South Africans' experiences. So now we're going to go back and have a look at another clip. And this clip, it's analyst just analyzing the ANC and telling us what we already know anyway. But, he's a professional, just a citizen who is very concerned about the status of the nation in South Africa. So let's listen to him.
Destroying the hopes of youngsters who have been born, the born frees, they've destroyed the born frees. They don't have the skill to run this country. They don't have the expertise, nor the will, the commitment to run the ANC. To listen to them is a waste of airtime. It's just a waste of time.
You don't think they can rise from the ashes as they say they can?
The ANC is finished. The ANC is in the dustbin of history, especially if they continue to keep people like Mbalula there, Cyril Ramaphosa, and all the other useless people who are there. It's deadwood.
So what do you make of former President Jacob Zuma delivering that letter to demand his reinstatement, especially as far as the membership of the party is concerned, on a day like yesterday?
Jacob Zuma and Cyril Ramaphosa are two sides of the same coin. Those two men have destroyed the ANC and destroyed South Africa. And both of them one running the Ganja faction, the other one running the Pala Pala faction, are saying that they can resuscitate and revive the ANC of Albert Lutul and Oliver Tambo. When we know for sure that when we look at the statistics, Stats SA, look at the statistics at the IEC, the reports of the Human Sciences Research Council, it is clear beyond all doubt that these people have got no skill, no capacity to resuscitate anything in South Africa. So the letter of Jacob Zuma is another ploy by the failed liberation movement, a faction of them, to say there is a messiah of this country and of the ANC who can come out of themselves, the very culprits who have been destroying the ANC. That is what.
So another activity that was in store for the ANC in this ANC renewal was a trip to Robben Island. So Robben Island is an island that's very important for South Africans, and particularly for the ANC as well, because that's where Nelson Mandela was held for 18 years of his 27-year sentencing, fighting apartheid. So to go to Robben Island in Cape Town, you book a ferry that normal people use, and then you go there and visit. Now, for this man called Fikile Mbalula, who is the ANC Secretary General, decided to go to Robben Island using a yacht. Yeah, very expensive one. So let's listen.
You're watching News at Prime. Let's get into this now. ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula is allegedly in hot water after he reportedly arrived on Robben Island with a luxury yacht belonging to a businessman. Now, the Sunday Times says he opted for the flashy yacht instead of a museum ferry, which is called Sikhululekile, that transported other top ANC leaders, including the media and guests, as the party celebrated its 113th birthday celebrations.
Yep, luxury yacht. Prior to that, last year, he went to a community, a very impoverished community, and I've got a video to show you, with the security, and they were opening a door for him. Yeah, let's have a look. To renew themselves, they're trying to connect with them. And as I've demonstrated in the last videos that I've showed you a few clips about him, this is not a leadership that any organization needs. I mean, the messaging, unless they want to cater for the wealthy, if it's ANC, they want wealthy people to vote for them, yes, that's a good one. That's a good messaging. They hopefully all the wealthy people will be running for ANC. I don't know anyone who is actually a business person who would want to be voting for the lefty socialist party, but good luck on that one. Now, it's very disappointing, as you can see. I mean, this person is meant to be a person who actually administered policy of the ANC, but he fails. I mean, how about his communication? Let's listen to how he communicates with members of the ANC. This is about one member of the ANC that apparently said something while he was interviewed that was very critical of ANC. But anyway, he was subsequently being told that he was going to be suspended, something around that. But anyway, let's listen to him respond to the reporter who were asking this question, whether or not he had actually called a meeting and spoke to the person in private, just like you would do in any organization that has some respect. Let's listen.
I don't need an NEC meeting to charge Tony again. I don't need an NEC meeting to charge a wayward behavior of an NEC member. NEC have said a long time ago, SG act. I'm acting now. Let's see. I'm acting now. Now. Nobody will stop me from that. The membership of the ANC agrees, majority of it. And nobody will stop me from that. We don't need permission of anyone. The Constitution agrees with us to act, and we have acted before.